the next series gets down and dirty, and that is the Golden State Warriors taking on the Dallas Mavericks. The Warriors are going to be favored tomorrow by 4.5. Obviously, me and Scoop can make the pick tomorrow, but in reality, this series, I didn't get the odds for this series, but I want to assume the Warriors are the favorite to win.
I have the odds for the whole thing. So Golden State's plus 150 to win the finals. So they're clearly the favorite in this series, and the Mavericks are plus 600, and they're all the way at fourth. So right now you have technically, as far as Vegas is concerned, the one against the four that's remaining.
In Vegas odds seedings?
Vegas odds. Right now it's Golden State plus 150, Boston plus 200, Miami plus 425, and Dallas plus 600. So if you want to throw $50 on your boy Luka, you could win 3, Dave.
I might do that. But yeah, that's the story. Luka has been in absolute God mode. They went into Phoenix. They finished the job off in 7. They're obviously riding high right now. They go back on the road. It's been him and the Brunson show. As far as, look, Golden State, the story writes itself. You got your Steph Currys of the world, fine. But you also have Draymond Green playing very well. You also have the return of Klay Thompson, because you look at this, and they played 4 games. Green didn't play in 3 of them. Klay didn't play in 2 of them. So now the Mavericks are getting a full squad and a full dish of the Warriors, and that's where I think the problem is. For now, if God willing something happens.
These guys are banged up, and there's reasons why they're missing games.
God forbid something happens. I don't say God willing. I don't want anything to happen. So the Warriors, the thing is with the Warriors is they push the pace. They're a fast team. The Mavericks like to slow shit down. Jason Kidd has been on an absolute tear yesterday, or this whole playoffs, as far as rallying the troops and getting everybody ready to go. And that, like I said, that coaching clip that I showed you yesterday, it made me an absolute fan of his coaching style. It feels like he's the 6th man on the court. But if I had to look at this one, look, I'm rooting for Dallas. I've been pulling for Dallas in the West the entire time. I think their story has been incredible. But now I'm looking at this and I'm just like, okay, if they get down 8 to 10 late, is Luka going to be able to not only score, but then prevent, all of these guys from scoring points down the stretch? I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't see it, unfortunately. And I'm taking the Warriors in 7, because I think that every home team is going to win a game again. That's where I think this was going to play. Every home team wins the games. The Dallas Mavericks have been very, very good at home. But when they go on the road, and look, yes, did they just completely starch the Suns? Sure did. It's a different beast. It's a different beast when you got to come from behind and Steph gets hot, and all of a sudden you're down 15 before you blink.
In this case, look, Luka hero ball in the last series. Well, He did have some help, obviously, because you can't go in and beat the 1 seed without a little bit of help, but he had more points than Booker. He had more assists than Chris Paul. He had more rebounds than DeAndre Ayton, and he had more steals than Mikal Bridges. You're going into this series, and you have not just 4 good players across from you. You have 4 potential stars. Jordan Poole, we're talking about potential odds to win an MVP in the conference. Jordan Poole, I want to know what his odds are. They're probably plus 1,000, plus 1,100.
Draymond's plus 1,100. So
you ready for this though? Before we keep going on, Tatum is actually minus 120 to win the MVP over there. So you said no minus.
Crazy. I didn't think there would be.
I don't think so either.
So he won it, basically, is what they're telling us. Tatum won the Eastern Conference.
By the way,
Finals
Tatum wins MVP. Spoiler alert.
This is a legacy. I wouldn't say a legacy defining game, because I think the Warriors' legacy for the trio is largely intact, right? But if they lose this game to Luka, it'll be a very similar situation to how they treated LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Bosh losing to the Mavs years back when it was just Dirk, because it was Dirk and then supporting cast that was good, but they were any stretch. Very similar to this Mavericks team with Luka. If he could go in there and
Brunson's been all right.
Say it again.
Brunson's been good.
Yeah, same thing was like Josh Howard was really good for that team. There was other good players for that. Jason Kidd was on that team. Right,
Jason Terry was on that.
Jason
team.
Terry. They had some good players, but it was by no stretch of the imagination supposed to beat the Miami Heat in that series. So if Luka goes in there and dismantles Golden State after doing what he just did to Phoenix, defending champ, we're talking about. You could already make the case that Luka's top 3 in the game. But I think if he does that, I don't know that he slays the Celtics, but it would be really interesting to see if Luka go do that, where he ranks in terms of the public.
I'll say this. If the Dallas Mavericks can go out there and steal game 1, then this whole conversation is different.
Well, of course, yeah.
When you steal one on the road, we'll talk about that tomorrow when the Rangers actually start their series. They got to go on the road. When you go on the road and you steal one of the 2 in the first, there's a different dynamic.
Yeah,
man.
well, when you're a 7-game series and you split the first 2, you steal home court because now there's
Correct.
5 games
I
left.
understand.
And 3
I
of
just
them are
feel
in
like
yours. So of course it shifts.
Yeah, it's just
and
momentum.
Dallas is
It's
just very good at home. So if they could steal a game, then now there's some mounting pressure on Golden State. But look, even if Golden State drops a home game, I don't think it's series over. They have some resiliency too, and they're playing really good defensive basketball. Steve Kerr, you talked about how many guys have been missing time. Jason Kidd's having a great season or a great postseason so far, but Steve Kerr is obviously also having a great postseason.
Did they
being able to manipulate the lineup the way he's had?
Did they name Coach of the Year already?
Yeah, Monty Williams.
Monty Williams, yeah.
All right. Was Jason Kidd in the running, or he's just kind of showing out now?
No. I think it was the Memphis coach was second.
That makes
Monty
sense.
Williams, and then maybe even the Celtics.
Okay.
I'm not sure who else it was, but
Okay.
I know.
Who?
It was,
So
Spoelstra should have got.
where are you going with this?
I'm going Golden State. I like Dallas 6.
Golden State and 6. Who's your MVP? Is it gonna be Steph?
Jordan Poole.
Oh wow. Okay, you're going just out of the limb. I'm just gonna say that Steph does not win MVP in this. I think Clay does. I think you talk about a comeback story of a lifetime. The first ever Magic Johnson MVP award goes to the guy who one of the craziest comebacks of all time, and that's Klay Thompson.
I think he might be ended up missing time though. I think Clay is not healthy.
We'll see. What do you got, Rob?
So for me, this series comes down to a bunch of things. The Mavs lead right now in the postseason with time of possession. Luka individually leads that overall like 10. I think it's like 10 minutes a game. The Mavs as a team, it's like 22 minutes a game. So what's basketball, like 48 minutes, I think. So that's like almost half the game that they have the ball in their hand. So if Luka can keep doing what he's doing, first series, he averaged 29 points. Now he's got 32 points the next series. Now he's facing these guys, and these guys are hitting threes, especially all 3 of them.
So
no Iguodala last series. He's coming back this series, probably game 2. So they have a lot of people that can guard Luka the whole time.
Correct.
Whether it's Clay, Iguodala, Draymond, or they switched who's the little guy? They have a little guy too. Wiggins. Wiggins is another guy they can put on him.
yeah, and look, Golden State has a bunch of different ways to beat you. They could slow it down, half court set, and let Draymond run like the point forward at the top of the key, much like Sacramento did with Weber back in the day. Or they could just run you out of the gym, that's a little bit older or a little bit of a younger version of the Golden State team that we're seeing now. But they do have those guys. They have Jordan Poole, who's in. They do have a Wiggins, and Steph Curry could still dial it up when he needs to. Draymond Green.
Just stop chewing on your fucking mouthpiece.
Oh, whatever. Irrelevant to me. I just think it's going to be a lot. The time of possession is a factor because the best way to beat a Golden State team that's just down to shoot every chance they get is to slow it down.
It's like keeping Rodgers on the sidelines.
Yep,
but
that's the way you beat the Packers.
You have to be real careful with the basketball. They're going to be throwing crazy traps at Luka, try and force some turnovers and some easy points. It could get away from Dallas quick because I think they need to play the half-court game to even contend in this series.
So who you got?
Golden State's is really good.
I'm going to take the Warriors in 6.
Okay.
I think
so all 3 of us in
lockstep
here.
Luka won't be able to keep up with them. It's how much more can this guy do by himself?
If for whatever reason, I'm telling you right now, I'll go on record to say this. If for whatever reason Dallas Mavericks take this too, and they go to the championship, and just say they win the title, this will be the one of the greatest single-handed runs of any player in history. Like, because you look at that team, and yes, they have
Dirk. If you look what Dirk did that year when he beat the Heat, they beat the Spurs, they beat the Lakers, they beat everybody.
Oh, I said one of.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm not saying
it's very
it's
similar.
the
It's like
best.
a very comparable situation. You've been getting the Luka and Dirk comparisons since he entered the league because they were teammates, and it's like the European influence, et cetera, et cetera. It looks like it's lining up to potentially be something similar to that.
I'm worried about